Hello, everybody. Welcome to this info session presented by Bow Valley College Center for Entertainment Arts. My name is Matthew Holdenreid. I am the Director of Marketing for the CEA. Before I joined the team here, I worked on a number of projects that included video game trailers, cinematic intros, full-length video game cinematics, commercials, and all sorts of other fun stuff. Some highlights include work on projects for EA, NetherRealm Studios, 2K, and Square Enix. But enough about me. Let's get started. And as you can see, we have people in the chat, so if you have any questions while we're going, feel free to ask them there. The province of Alberta and the leadership at Bow Valley College saw an incredible opportunity to diversify the future workforce in Alberta. And together we managed to make it all happen quick and bring this big idea to life. We're currently running 3 programs at BVCCEA: Advanced 3D Animation and 3D Modeling, Advanced Visual Effects with a virtual production component, and a Foundation in Entertainment Arts certificate program for those that are interested in the advanced programs but need to develop fundamental skills and discover how art can be transformed from digital or from analog to digital. And this September, we're launching advanced game development, and we'll discuss that more later with Jeff Clemens, the program chair at BVCCEA. So, we are here to empower students to be the industry leaders of tomorrow. And that might sound ambitious, but it's what we believe, and it's at the heart of everything we do. Because in the end, if our alumni or the alumni are not successful, we are not successful in our mission. The programs at Bow Valley College Center for Entertainment Arts have been designed by industry professionals that took a hard look at everything they think an artist needs to know, both technically and artistically, and jammed it into challenging but ultimately rewarding curriculum that will set you up for success. So why should students consider a career in visual effects or the animation industry? The number one reason I can think of is that it's a rare opportunity for artistic people to be paid well to do something they love. There are a number of career pathways for traditional artists to explore, but in most cases, success can be elusive and take decades, and you might end up doing something else before you figure out how to create something that people will happily pay you to create. In VFX and animation, there are numerous specializations that allow for artistic exploration. And from my experience, there's a niche for everybody to discover. The best part is that all the jobs pay well because the demand for digital content has never been greater. So how do you tap into that and find your own artistic fulfillment and financial stability? Well, you take your time to discover a bit of everything before you decide what's your thing. And then we give you the tools to empower yourself to step into the future with confidence. So how do we do that? Well, we hire top-level industry professionals to share their knowledge and teach what works and what to avoid. It's as simple as that. And as you can see, here are some of the amazing projects our instructors have credits on. Blockbuster films, some of the highest grossing of all time. World-renowned television. Huge video game projects. We also have people like Tyler Weiss. He's our VP of Strategic Initiatives, and he just so happens to be a VFX producer at Image Engine. It's insight and information from industry insiders that allows us to evolve as the industry evolves and ensures that students are learning skills that will give them an advantage over the competition. We encourage students to push themselves and take advantage of the resources they have access to during their time with us. This culminates in the final 2 terms where they showcase their skills and receive professional guidance and critical information about how to break into the industry. And of course, we help you craft a really nice demo reel and get your CV all polished up and teach you some skills for interviewing and what recruiters are looking for and kind of how to get their attention. And lucky for me, we've had a lot of student success in the past couple of years, and more every day. Every week, it seems like somebody's landing a great job or moving from their first studio onto their second job. It's been really great. We also have a CEA Student Work Initiative program that we run, where as soon as a student's professional development allows, we encourage them to get started early, pre-graduation, and we align them with studios that need their particular set of skills. So we try to match students to studios in need the best we can through our industry connections. And who better to tell you all about the programs and student success than Melissa Best, our VP of Education for Americas. And there she is. Hello, Melissa's been at it, I guess, for almost 2 decades now. And she's worked all over the world. And she is a great ambassador for the programs and for our students. And she works really hard on industry connection and making sure students are working as soon as they can be. Melissa, take it away.
Thanks so much, Matt. It's wonderful to meet everybody today. Thanks for your time. I know it's different times of the day of where you're at. So as Matt said, I've been working in this industry for just over 2 decades, and it's been exciting to take everything that we've learned both in post-secondary and in industry and bring it into these advanced programs. So let's talk a little bit about what that means and how we offer that to our students. So the first one that we're going to talk about today, of course, is the Advanced Visual Effects and Virtual Production program. And this one is really exciting to me because over the past 2 years, virtual production has been introduced into this field. So what exactly is virtual production? The first thing that most people think about is Mandalorian. And so the easiest way to describe virtual production is a giant LED wall that virtual environments are projected onto. It's also called a volume. And this isn't so much as something to replace traditional visual effects as it is to be a new tool that can be used. So it allows us to bring locations that maybe are hard to travel to or impossible or even dangerous to film in and bring them into the studio environment. So it's merging game technology with visual effects into this virtual production realm. So we're excited to be bringing this to these programs. You can see some of our student work that is here. So some modeling and texturing work, some visual effects work with live action plates, some lighting work as well. So let's take a look at what some of the general entrance requirements are for these programs. And I want to talk about what we look for in an entrance portfolio. And that is really just showing us your love for the industry, your love for the art. So maybe you don't have any experience in any of these softwares, or maybe you've kind of experimented in it. We want to see that. So that could be portfolio in photography. Maybe you love taking pictures, maybe you love to draw, maybe you love to edit videos. So it doesn't have to be professional experience. Just show us some kind of artwork, and then we can tell you whether or not that's a really great entryway into our advanced programs or into our foundation program. So that's how we decide between the two of them. Who is better? So if you don't quite have those skills, that's what our foundation program is for. It will provide you those skills and we'll give you some software skills as well. But again, we evaluate each portfolio and we'll let each candidate know whether they're better suited for the advanced programs or that foundation program. So So let's take a look at some of these, the different courses. I won't go into them in depth today, but I will explain the difference between this program and the other advanced program that I'll talk about, which is 3D animation and advanced 3D animation / 3D modeling. And this program in particular, the advanced visual effects for virtual production, is those that are interested in compositing, lighting, effects. There's some scripting in this particular course as well, and some match moves. So basically, if you're looking to do these things, this is the course. We are touching on some of that Unreal work as well that's being integrated into traditional visual effects. If you are looking to do something more like modeling, texturing, animation, rigging, we'll talk about that more in the other program. So let's talk about that now. So advanced 3D animation and 3D modeling, what exactly is that? Well, when we talk about visual effects, there is probably about 15 plus different specialties, and we can't teach them or offer them in all one program. So in this particular program, we focus on around 4 or 5 different specialties that, of course, have subsets of them. So 3D animation, of course, can be character animation, quadruped animation, facial animation. So when I say quadruped, of course, it could be some of these animals that you see here, some of these reptiles that you see. So the lizard, the alligator, and so forth. Facial animation, of course, is going to be characters and talking and lip sync. And then rigging, which is up here on the top left, of course, is all the controls and the bones to make that character or object move. So here's some more student work that has been done. Some really great work, some animation. And of course, you will also learn how to integrate this stuff. So there is courses that touch on lighting, cinematography, because that all really plays into stuff such as animation and modeling different assets, different environments, and different characters for that matter. So here's a breakdown of all the different courses. You can see that it's about 50-50 split between 3D animation type courses and as well 3D modeling, sculpting, and texturing and surfacing. So if you have any questions about these particular courses in more depth, myself and the team at Bow Valley, you'll be meeting Jeff in just a little bit, are more than happy to answer any questions that you might have about particular courses or particular programs. So a lot of you are asking, what kind of roles can I do when I graduate from these programs? Now, this is just a small sampling. There's more different specialties that definitely can come out of these programs. Some cross over a little bit. So again, there is still modeling within the virtual production visual effects program, just not as much as a 3D animation and 3D modeling program. So these are advanced programs, 2 years in length. They cover all kinds of wonderful things that you're going to be using in production. The other thing I do want to quickly touch on is that as you're learning these different skill sets, learning these different specialties, but we also very much focus on those soft skills. And that's equally as important as learning the softwares and the skills within these programs. So that's another specialty that we don't necessarily talk about, but that's a really unique thing that we kind of weave into these programs. So here is some really exciting news that we always love to share. So these are various different students that have gone through these programs. And you can see that they're now working at various studios. These are top studios, internationally recognized. So you have Angelina, she's working at Industrial Light and Magic. And those of you that aren't necessarily aware of what that is owned by Disney. We've got Harshid, he is working at Pixel, which is doing some of the top virtual production work in the industry right now. Marco, so forth, Method Studios, Atomic Cartoons, so really wide range of different studios that are that all of these studios are working at, and all of the skills that they have learned and where it has taken them once they have completed these programs. Thank you so much, Matt.
Well, that was brief, quick, but That's the way we want to keep it today. We encourage everybody, if you have any questions, to reach out. We'll give the contact at the end, but it's going to be programs at the CEA.ca for program-specific questions. And we can put you in touch with all of our great faculty in a one-on-one setting, and we can answer those questions for you and help you explore options and get you started down the path. And I saw him pop in and leave, but welcome back, Jeff. How are you
Hey,
this morning?
I'm good. How are you doing? Exciting to be here. I always end up following after Melissa, and I see all the things the students are doing, and it's super exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some good stuff happening at Bow Valley College, even though you're only three or 4 months in. So we're going to be showcasing lots of work coming out of there in the very near future, I would
Very near
imagine.
future. It's amazing seeing how fast they're moving and learning quickly, just because the programs are so strong that they're really just laddering up and so well. So
Okay, well, I'm going to let
jumping
you
ahead.
tell, yeah, I'm going to let you tell everybody about the campus and some of the things that are happening there, and I will give you the floor.
Sounds great. Hey everyone. So I'm Jeff Clemens. I'm the Bow Valley College Center for Entertainment Arts Program Chair. So I've been able to help launch the programs at BVC and really just get a chance to see all the students as they've started and get everything set up. If anybody's wondering, this is always a question we get. Hope you all might know already. The thing I'm sitting on is an art horse. They do sit in corrals, which has always been a funny. Everybody seems to enjoy the fact that we have art horses sitting in corrals. But that's a part of our foundational program, is that our students have the opportunity to use these actual tools that you would use in a studio and to learn from experts in the field. The sketching course, the nice thing about that is that because we're located right downtown, we're able to actually look outside at all this great architecture. City Hall is across the road, which is the original building that was built in Calgary, which compared to the rest of the world is very, very young. But there is some amazing new and old architecture all around us, which gives the students a really good chance to look at different references and things they can see and they can draw from, which is kind of has been amazing. And then even more amazing is this is the campus. So what we did with this campus is we worked with the CEA group, and we worked with industry experts and said, how can we make this like an actual studio, somewhere where you would go in and you say, hey, I'm in the Center for Entertainment Arts. I'm not in the regular campus. These classrooms are exciting. It's really cool to be inside them, and I don't think anybody's ever said that about a classroom before. In that so if you look at the top left, we actually have a couch in there now. And the idea in that area is it's a collaborative space. You can sit, you can talk, you can have lunch, take a break, but have a chance to actually be creative. And in the top left, if you look where that S is, just a little bit to the right of it, there's actually geese that have laid eggs. We've named them Uncle Ben and Aunt May. So we're looking forward to seeing their little spiderlings from the geese, which has been really interesting. And then if you look at the top right, that whiteboard is now covered in art. We have whiteboard markers, and the students on their breaks, whenever they have a chance, whenever they're planning things, they will draw on that board. They'll add to it, they'll add more to it. And it's just been amazing. We actually had to clean it once because it was so full. We needed more space to put more art on there. And that's the part of outside of campus. The bottom right is a chance for you to plug in and watch a movie. Because there's no better way to actually get your references than to actually watch a movie and say, I want to make that, and I'm going to do that. And some of our students have some of our instructors have created the movies that they are watching, which has been amazing to actually see that and give that chance. Students are using these screens as a chance to show what they've worked on and what they've created. And so it's been an amazing chance to have that. So with BVC, we've started connecting to the global visual effects and animation industry. So through our instructors and also through connections that we've made as we started to grow and as we started to build. Our grand opening was one of the first in-person events that we've had at the college, and it was amazing to see the number of people from industry come out to see this space. and the number of messages. I'm basically a tour guide right now. This work that you're seeing right here is actually something that our students made 3 months in. We had an instructor who hadn't worked with this student and said, "Oh, is this from a template?" And the student said no, and everybody had a laugh because they went, "Oh, at 3 months you're creating this giant kaiju," which has been amazing. And then the nice thing, because we know when people are sick, I'm home right now because there's sickness in my house. And so we've set up a hybrid learning environment where you can access all of those tools, all of the technology that you use in the classroom. You can log in and use it on your home computer, which has been an amazing opportunity where knowing that people will be sick or can be away, we've planned ahead for that. So we've gotten really good at working on digital and working remote when we need to. And then as we go that, we're ramping up to launch the game development in September of 2022. So as of the end of this month, they will be knocking down walls and rebuilding a new classroom. But along with that, we'll have the lab, we'll have a gaming area, but we're also going to create a sound and recording broadcast area. This will allow students to sit and actually record their audio, record their video for all of the programs, but it will also give us the opportunity to host community events, potentially sporting events or things like that, and just give everything that all of these programs need and could wish for. And we're really excited that as we've started to launch these, so we started these programs early, and as we're starting to launch these programs, as we're starting to kick them off, we're starting to see a major influx of studios into the city. Last week, Unity opened up a massive studio. They want to add over 100 new team members in the next year. And we're going to produce those team members. The biggest games that are being made, we're going to make those team members and send them to all those different studios.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
I'm here. Great. So lots of exciting things happening. I had the chance to be at the grand opening for the Bow Valley College Center for Entertainment Arts in Calgary, and the team and the province. Everybody's really excited, all the way from the top level of government all the way through the municipal organizations and structures, and Bow Valley team itself. Everybody's thrilled about this and dedicated to making it a huge success. And the campus is incredible. I can't wait to see the new gaming area they're setting up and beyond, because they got big plans that we can talk about in the future. Let's look at, admission requirements. These are pretty standard for all Canadian post-education institutions. I'll leave it up on the screen there if you need to screen grab it, but you would find all this out as soon as you started asking questions about admissions and dates and terms and all the logistics stuff that you would need to get into. And of course, we can help you through that. So don't be afraid to reach out with questions after this info session about any of this. Melissa went through this portfolio and transcripts. For foundations, we're looking for about 5 to 10, just to show progression, taking a concept and developing a concept through iterations. And for the advanced programs, same thing, but a little further, 10 to 20 pieces of work, sketches, rendering, design variations in the digital format for those. So if you're not sure, you just send your portfolio and we can let you know if it needs a little bit more or where it's at. We're here to work with you and help. Of course, there's some entrance requirements, high school or grade 12 equivalent, depending where you're from. And the programs are open to students of all ages. I was thinking of going back and doing them. Hopefully I could get a deal on tuition, but I'm not sure. I guess I'd be a mature student. And most recent transcripts and graduation diplomas are required. Here's the tuition. Domestic students and international students. One nice thing is our foundation program is the same for both. We want to encourage you to get here and start your journey if foundations is something that you need to do. And we have an Indigenous Storyteller Scholarship available and loads of entrance scholarships through BVC. They have quite the structure. And again, that is something you can discover once you get in contact with somebody, because they can walk you through, they can show you the page of everything that's available, and then you can see if you qualify for anything like that. So Q&A, we've been doing it the whole session. If there's any unanswered questions for Jeff, Melissa, or the CA team, feel free to ask them now. Yes, scholarships, computers are available. The campus is incredible. It's an incredible space, and the technology is incredible that they set up. Everybody was kind of on high alert when creating this, that there was no, we just didn't want there to ever be a situation where the technology limited artistic exploration or creative development. So they've set up these amazing classrooms with not only great technology for students to work on, but great technology for instructors to use with projectors and audio and everything. And as we mentioned, the gaming lab coming up is going to be incredible. Yes, mature students, 100%. We've had some great success in people that have changed their whole careers and come to CA in Vancouver, and I'm sure they'll be coming to Bow Valley College CEA as well, especially with the way the world is going and everything's becoming digital. So some of the older jobs that will kind of slowly go away, they'll be replaced by other things, and there's other economies that are growing, and the digital entertainment sector is huge with streaming services and film and video games especially. The industry is growing on itself year over year. So we've had television executives from China come and had huge success because they took their 20 years experience in television, and now they went right into a top tier studio post-graduation. We've had researchers, I think medical researchers, that have done very well. And it seems like these programs work well for people who understand how to learn and have degrees in other things and understand how to be professional in all those things. They get to focus just on the creative aspect and the artistic aspect and the technical aspect because they already got everything else figured out. So we even have a lawyer from Brazil that is doing very well after his career change. So definitely, anybody in another industry, you'll do well in this.
Hello, everyone. Just the question that is asked again is, when can we apply for scholarships? Before getting admission or after? So very good question, Manal. The simple answer is when you apply for the program, you will send us a portfolio. So the portfolio for either advanced animation, visual effects, or even the game development program that is starting as of September, you can apply for any of those programs. Send us your portfolio. We will pre-assess your portfolio for scholarships, and you will basically receive a scholarship with your application, your admission offer letter. So we provide a scholarship at the very beginning. You already know how much scholarship you're going to get for the program, for the 2-year program. So it's very clearly mentioned on your offer letter. So it's a very simple process. All you have to do is provide us your portfolio, apply for the program, and a scholarship, if you're eligible for the scholarship, will be provided upon you receiving an offer letter. So pretty straightforward one on that. So if you have any questions on scholarships, reach out. Many students here have applied already, and they've been very successful in getting scholarships. So we definitely offer amazing scholarships for great portfolios. Thanks, guys.
I see a question about a laptop. Gaming laptops work well for these types of programs because they have great video cards and great processing power. And you'll find, well, you'll have two options. A school will have a render farm available for you, but you'll find you'll do some of your work as well because because you have to book that one. So if you're quite ambitious and you want to do a lot of rendering or look dev or making your stuff like iterations on your own work, it's good to invest in a quality machine that can handle it. There's Melissa, she knows.
I can definitely help. What I would say is that if you reach out to our team, we actually can provide links and specs for computers, a minimum requirement. So Jeff has that information, so anyone on our team can definitely provide that information. Apple MacBooks should work. Keep in mind that there are a couple of softwares that aren't necessarily compatible with Macs. Most of them are. The industry typically will use a Linux or a Windows platform. These programs are run on Windows platforms. So again, things can be done on the Mac, but I will say that there are the odd softwares. I can't remember what they are offhand, but there are a couple of softwares that are not compatible on the Mac because the industry primarily works in those particular platforms. But for now, I think especially for the first couple of terms, definitely if you don't have to purchase another system, then I think that should be more than okay. And what I would say as well is try it, right? Try what you have. And then if you feel the need to upgrade, if you want something at home versus accessing something on the campus, then that was something that I would look into further.
Yeah, you're gonna wanna be at campus working on your stuff as much as possible because the technology, the machines, the space, it's all geared towards you being and feeling and achieving creative success. So
and being around others as well. I think, I mean,
yes.
this is a collaborative space. So even though, studios are in a hybrid mode right now, where some studios, if you want to come to the studio, you can work in the studio. If you want to work a bit from home, you can work a bit from home. So that's the way that the industry is working right now. But you definitely this is a collaborative industry. No matter what advanced program that you go into, it's collaborative. So I want to encourage everybody to use that collaboration, because movies and games and TV shows don't get done by one person. It's by a massive team of hundreds and hundreds of people. So we want to, replicate that. We being students, you want to replicate that as much as possible before you get into the industry.
Yeah, I see somebody as a chemist. I have a feeling you'll do okay because there's some very technical aspects to visual effects and animation that scientists take on particularly well. And one of our great success stories is Sydney, who ended up at Scanline before she graduated, and now she's there full time working on big movie projects. And she discovered rigging, and she fell in love, and it's very technical, creating joints and basically creating the skeletons and the controls to make something move. And she took that on, and she's doing incredible. So I would definitely encourage anybody looking at that kind of pivot to look into this more, because you can have great success you've already achieved something great by getting a degree in a program like that. So I think you do okay in this, even if you had to slam a portfolio together to make it happen.
There's a question about portfolio examples. Definitely, we can provide those just to give you an idea. But again, just as a quick recap of that, really, we're just looking for anything that you've done that's creative, right? So there's just such a wide, vast, different things that you can do to show that, like I said, photography, that could be photography on your phone, right? Maybe like taking pictures when you're out and about. It doesn't have to be on a professional camera. Video doesn't have to be shot on a professional camera. It's just showing that creativity. But most definitely, we can show examples or share examples of some of the work that we see. It really ranges. We have artists that have been trained in other institutions, that have worked in other markets. And then we have others that, film video for a hobby and do YouTube videos, or have filmed it in high school and so forth, or maybe they've always drawn but have never done it in a professional manner. So there's a wide range, and so we don't want to limit that creativity when these portfolios come in.
Yeah, well put. We didn't mention it, but it's just to throw it in there. You are eligible to apply for postgraduate work permit after graduating from the advanced programs. And right now that's a 2 to 3 year, gives you the ability to work if you're successful in getting that permit 2 to 3 years after graduation. So that's plenty of time to explore multiple studio roles at different places and kind of cut your teeth and find where you belong and find your people. So that's one amazing benefit of us working with these incredible institutions on these programs. Okay, that looks to be about it. Thanks, Melissa. Thank you to everybody. We have some upcoming events. If anybody's interested in foundations, we're doing an info session next week. It's going to be the same time and the same place. Next Wednesday at 11 p.m. MDT or 10 PST. We'll be sending out the link. I think today we're going to post that, and that's going to be with Ed Coe. He's the director of our foundation program, and he's always fun to talk to, and he can give everybody an in-depth look at everything they need to know about that. And for contact, please reach out to programs@thecea.ca, and we can kind of act as your entrance point to the whole process and put you in touch with the right people at Bow Valley College, and put you in touch with anybody to answer any questions you need to know. So yeah, contact us. And then if you want general information about Bow Valley College, logistics, about getting there, Calgary, admissions, anything else, reach out to info@bowvalleycollege.ca and talk to the great people there. We look forward to doing more of these in the very near future. We're going to do a game development one in May after this term ends and a bit of the chaos of that is through. And then we'll have more things in the very near future. So thanks again, everybody, for your time. Please reach out if we didn't get a chance to answer any of your questions. And we look forward to speaking with you all again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.